Detroit's mystique, I would say, might be a bit skewed by the media, outside of the borders of this state.
Detroit for me was home. It's always been home.
Growing up and years ago, I was brought up thinking that Detroit was a scary place.
Detroit used to be scary to me and unknown.
You know, when I grew up in this city, it was actually a pretty nice city all over the place.
It was a tremendous experience. Growing up in Detroit was fun.
I love Detroit because Detroit is a good place to raise kids, and it has a good standard behind it.
It's always been a good place for me. It's always been a good place for my family.
I grew up in Greektown, so I love Greektown, but I also love it because it's an underdog.
Okay, you got nice water, nice everything in this town.
The city's had its hard times, the city's had its good times, and I would say that's pretty reflective of anyone's life.
We were once a booming city, that the auto industry with the Motown and the Hitsville, I know that at one point there was a good time.
What had made Detroit such a strong city economically, the bottom just kind of dropped out.
My parents didn't like to bring us down here.
I remember as a child, probably 10 years old, looking at the civil unrest of 1967 and how that negatively impacted this city.
Detroit 15, 20 years ago, I was coming down here and there was areas you didn't go in.
My impression of Detroit was that it was big and scary. I remember hearing about all the negative things that were here. And when I actually came, I didn't find those things.
A way to describe Detroit's past, I would say definitely complicated.
The city of Detroit has as many perceptions as it does nicknames. The town we warmly refer to as the D was first named for Pontchartrain du Detroit.
Initially, Detroit started off as a fur trading post. Cadillac, who was a French naval officer, convinced the king that the best place to stop the English was at Detroit. He arrived with about 100 men from Montreal in canoes. They set up their post, began building the town.
This 300-year-old city's first structure was a church.
The Catholic Church has been a strong presence in Detroit. We go back right to the beginning of Detroit, 1701. That's when St. Anne's Church, which is still functioning as a parish, was founded.
St. Anne's Parish is the second oldest parish in the country, next to St. Augustine in Florida.
Detroit thrived as a key trading port, becoming the central gateway to the Great Lakes.
It was a busy trading post. The fur trade was Detroit's economy for a long time. Farming was subsistence, fishing was important, and the fur trade was what brought in the money. And curiously, today, Detroit is still the major entrepôt for furs in North America.